In part one of The Flawless Facade, we talked about projection, how accusations can protect the accuser. Today, we're talking about what often follows projection, gossip. Because when image protection matters more than truth, narrative becomes currency. And gossip is how it spreads. Gossip versus information. There is a difference, as we all know, between information and gossip. Information seeks resolution. It seeks truth. Gossip seeks stimulation, drama, pitting people against other people. Information says, how do we fix this? Gossip says, did you hear? Information is usually direct. Gossip is usually sideways. Information invites accountability. Gossip avoids it. I never said that about you. Why would I say that about you? You're my best friend. When someone truly wants clarity, they come to you. When someone wants control, they go around you. Why gossip is so powerful. Gossip is powerful because it feels bonding. But you're not bonding. You're tearing someone else down. You're tearing them apart. You're spreading something that you don't know if it's true or not true. And the people that thrive on that are the people you likely don't want to trust. They're the people who want to hear your secrets but don't tell you anything about themselves. They're the people who tell you about other people. Embarrassing, sad, horrible stories about other people where they always paint them as a terrible person. They deserve this, right? She's so stuck up. I don't even feel bad for spreading this. It's like, really? Imagine the shoe were on the other foot. Do you like gossip spread about you? Absolutely not. Then don't do it to others. So gossip creates social currency. People feel like it makes them feel closer. It helps them bond. It doesn't help them bond. If that person talks to you about someone, guess what? They're going to talk to someone about you. It spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads. You can't trust someone who is going to gossip about every single friend that they have. It also creates for some emotional excitement. You know stuff that other people don't know. A sense of superiority. Well, at least people aren't gossiping about me. A shared enemy. What's the point of having a shared enemy? I think that women probably get more into gossip than a lot of men do. I know there are some men that are, love the gossip train too, but in an emotionally immature systems, shared enemies are glue. If we can all agree that you are the problem, we don't have to examine ourselves. Think about the Bible, where it says, why are you looking at the speck in your neighbor's eye when you have a log in your own, right? The person with the log doesn't want to see their log. They want to see your speck because your speck is worse than their log. So gossip is not about truth. That's about cohesion. Gossip is image management. When gossip protects the ego, gossip protects the image. If the narrative threatens how I am perceived, I adjust the narrative. Selective details. Let's say, for instance, you were the one who ended up going on a date with your best friend's boyfriend. Now, what are you going to say? You are going to say that that is not true, that they had already broken up and I had nothing to do with their relationship failure. In fact, I heard that she cheated on him first. So, she kind of got what she had coming, didn't she? See how that works? Facts are relative. Blame is optional. Accountability? What is that even? Who needs accountability? Accountability is not fun. It's not glamorous. Half context, half truths, emotional framing, and strategic omissions. Because you need to spin so that it looks like you're not gossiping. You're telling what happened. And that is the absolute truth. It is, trust me. You can count on me to tell you the truth. Now the story protects me because I've told it the way that I want to tell it. And so I'm the first person to tell you the story. So you're thinking that I know what happened. And I do, right? From my perspective, I'm not to blame for anything. And then when you hear a second version of it, well, that's clearly not true because I heard this. And I don't think that they would lie about that. And suddenly, the person who stayed calm looks suspicious. The person who didn't retaliate looks guilty because obviously if they didn't do this, then they would tell us that they didn't do this. But they didn't tell us anything. So clearly they're guilty. Because volume feels convincing. But let me let you in on a little secret. Volume is not evidence. People can make things up at the top of their heads and just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning because that's what they do. People like to lie. People like to make others be the people that are the wrongdoers. And they want to look virtuous and friendly and kind and have friends. Why calm people get targeted? If you refuse to participate in gossip, you disrupt the dopamine cycle. You don't amplify, you don't dramatize, you don't recruit allies, and that makes you inconvenient. Not because you did anything wrong. So sometimes the person who won't gossip becomes the topic. Not because they did something wrong, but because they refuse to fuel the system. They refuse to join in bullying and or maligning someone else because they likely remember and know what it's like to be the person who was maligned. And they know how painful it is, and they know how difficult it is. Because bullies are not fun. And bullies always, 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 always recruit others to hate who they hate. Because you can't like that person because I don't like that person and our group doesn't like that person. And so if you like that person, then you really can't be in our group anymore. I'm sure you all remember that from middle school and high school. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't really want to be in your group if you're going to talk terribly about people, but you do you, I guess. I don't understand how that's fun, but okay. The cost of gossip. Gossip destabilizes families, reputations, children, and worst of all, trust. Once trust is broken, it's extremely difficult to get it back, if that's ever even possible. And once narrative replaces truth, correction feels like attack because correcting the story threatens the image. How to respond. You do not out gossip gossip. Never will happen. Ever, ever, ever. You do not defend yourself in every room. You do not chase every whisper. You stay regulated. You document when necessary, and you let patterns reveal themselves because gossip burns hot, but consistency burns longer. And here's the real truth. Here's the real thing. You know, I used to think about how people had these false ideas of who I was and what I was about. And some people thought that I was like a fake person, which I'm not, clearly, because I try to be as honest as I can be about certain things, yet also have some kind of compassion saying those things. Because I'm kind of a sensitive person myself. I've been betrayed by girlfriends, and who are supposed to be your friends, and then they're gossiping about you and doing crazy things. So I've been there, and I know we all have as women, likely. But ultimately, like, I learned at some point that, you know what, the people that know you know you. The people that don't know you, they create things about you because that's who they think you are. They think you're a certain type of person. Maybe they think you're stuck up. Maybe they think you're mean. Maybe they think you're better than them. But ultimately, that all comes down to insecurity, and that person, you may trigger something in them that makes them insecure, which is why they want to gossip about you. They want to create false narratives about you that have nothing to do with you. It has to do with their insecurity, and something about you triggers something in them. They're likely unhappy with themselves for whatever reason, and they like to bring other people down. And ultimately, it took me a long time to figure that out, because I did get bullied at certain points in my life, and I think it made me stronger in some ways, and it also made me more compassionate about wanting to help others, wanting to love others more. Because that's ultimately what we're called to do. We're called to encourage others. We're called to love others. We're called to accept others for who they are. And I know a lot of that sounds like pie in the sky, but I know in this community, you guys are all great. You all are very compassionate of each other. You all are looking to level up yourself. And I know I'm always looking to level up. And from the very beginning, if you've been with me from the very beginning, you know that I've talked about building a community of women who support each other and look out for each other and help us live a great life, a great legacy for ourselves and for our children. And that would be great, right? When someone prefers a story over a solution, that tells you what their priority is. They're not looking to solve problems. They're looking to create problems. They're looking to create and manufacture drama and fakeness. This isn't a reality TV show, people, right? When you like to say that to people, this isn't a reality TV show where you tell people different things and you hope that someone gets in a fight or something, or somebody breaks up with someone or whatever. You know what I mean? I want to see drama. I want to see drama. No, we don't want to see drama. These are real people. This isn't a script, right? This is real life. This isn't a soap opera, right? Let's be kind to people, right? And I know a lot of you are very much like that, meaning you all are kind and encouraging to people when they make comments, especially hard comments. And that is amazing. You're all my type of people. And when image projection becomes more important than accountability, the flawless facade expands, but it always cracks, because having a facade and putting on a facade, that mask is going to slip sooner rather than later, which is why I don't wear a mask. I am me. If you were to ever see me on the street, you would be like, man, I am who I am. Awkward, goofy, say things sometimes that I feel like comes out wrong, and I'm me. And that's all we can be. There's only one of us, right? We got to be who we are and be like that unapologetically. As long as we're not hurting other people and we're showing love when we can and we're encouraging others, because the world can be a rough place. We all know this. We're all here, right? We've all been here. We've all been hurt. We've all lost a friend because of a misunderstanding, or, a friend just wasn't a real friend and we didn't realize until it was too late. But it always cracks eventually. And truth does not need theatrics to survive. Part 3 is coming. Thank you all for tuning in. And I just want to say once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of my podcast and watching it and giving me encouragement and just letting me do something that I love and getting to meet and converse with all of you, because that means a lot. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you'll come back and see us again soon. So yeah, we're going to start recording some more stuff here very soon, probably tomorrow, the next day. Just been busy with doing stuff for my hubby. So, you know, can only do so much at certain points. But again, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening and hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.